Okay, so today's class, very interesting question we're going to deal with today. And we're going to see what in terms of halakha, what the rule is. So today's question we're going to ask is, let's say you have, you're eating, let's say, a plate of food, and it so happens that you prepared just enough, hopefully, to eat for the lunch, and for some reason, after you eat half the plate, you start to feel stuffed. So the question is, what do I do now with the rest of the food? Can I throw out the food in the garbage, or do I have to hold on to the food itself, leave it or finish it, or not to, of course, destroy it if I don't have to? That's the question in halakha we're going to be dealing with today. Interesting question, right? And that lends itself to this concept we're going to talk about. It's called Bal Tashhit. Bal Tashhit is a law in halakha. We're going to discuss in about a minute what that is, about destroying. Are you allowed to just destroy any object? So, for example, let's say you have a shirt, a T-shirt that you don't like anymore. You've worn it already the last 2 summers, and now you don't, you're tired. You feel it's a little tight on you, or it doesn't look nice anymore. It's sort of worn out. And I just decided, what I'm going to do? I'm just going to rip the shirt and throw it out in the garbage. Are you allowed to do that? Or is there halakha that says, no, you can't do that? We're going to see that you have to even save it. Maybe you can't even throw it out. You have to leave it within your realm. Oh, hi, Stephen. Baruch haba. Okay, Moshe is coming on. Awesome. They're all coming on now. Okay. You hear me good, buddy? Yeah? Just go like this. Okay. Very good. Moshe, good to see you. All right. Today's class, I just wanted for the boys who just walked in, we're going to be talking. Okay. So we're going to be talking about Bal Tashhid, a rule basically in halakha. Okay, very good. I think it works now. I was able to fix the issues on the internet end. We're good to go. Okay. So what do you do in a case where you have, let's say, you're eating already from a plate of food. You filled up your plate to the top. You put chicken on it. You put rice. You put vegetables on it. And now you're eating, and all of a sudden you're full. You have already half a plate left. Am I allowed to take that plate, right, and throw it out in the garbage? Or I have to find a way to save it and not throw it out, or maybe give it to the dogs or something to eat? We're going to talk about this halakha because I get a lot of questions like this. And this is really related to what we're learning in Kashrut, because we're going to be talking about this concept of being very careful. Are you allowed to destroy food for no reason? Are you allowed to destroy, let's say, a shirt? I wore a shirt for 2 years, a T-shirt that I had for the summer. It's a nice brown shirt I used to wear, but then it got worn out. So am I allowed to destroy it? Can I rip it and throw it out in the garbage, or do I have to save it? So I want to answer you guys on the chat if you want to write your answer. What you think is the halakha regarding food? Should I throw out half my plate? I mean, no one's going to eat it after I eat already half of it, right? So why would I give it to anybody? Or do I have to find a way to conserve it somehow? So take a second to write down your answer, and then we're going to go right into the class today. You're going to learn a lot about this halakha. I get these questions all the time, and it's very, very, very popular, especially when you go to a wedding and you fill your plate up with a lot of food. Not today. These days are hard. Okay. So I have some boys who said get rid of it. Some boys said keep it, find a way to put it somewhere. Okay, our class, by the way, goes till 10:30, okay? Which is good. Nice. It's not too long. Okay, or give it to a pet. Somebody said give it to a pet. Let them eat it if possible. Don't just throw it out. All right, so we're going to learn the halakha behind it today. I'm just going to share my screen. Thank you guys for coming on today. I really appreciate this on a beautiful sunny day. I know it's going to make it there, that's for sure. Okay, so there's a halakha brought down when it comes to the interesting story that happened in the Parashat Ki Tetzeh, which is at the end of Devarim. So The Torah says the following. Ki tatsur el ir yamim rabim. Let's say, for example, let me see if I can put it online here so you can see the pasuk inside. Ki tatsur el ir yamim rabim. Perfect. I got it here. Wonderful. Okay. So the Torah tells us an interesting mizvah. Ki tatsur el ir yamim rabim lilahem alea letofsa. If you happen to be, for example, when we were living in Eretz Yisrael, what we used to do in Israel, of course, besides settling, if we had to protect ourselves from people in battle, we would go fight a war. And what they did is sometimes what they called a siege. A siege means to surround yourself. You take troops and you surround the walls of the city, because back then many of the cities were built with walls for protection, not like today. It's very different. So you're now sieging the city, and you want to conquer it. So the Torah says, "Lo tashchit et etzah lindoach alav garzil." There's one restriction, and you have to be very careful. Do not destroy the trees that surround the city. If you take an axe to break it, ki mimeno tochel. What kind of trees? They have to be fruit trees. Any tree that bears fruit where you could eat from. Because the Torah says the reason why we want you to eat. If you're going to destroy, you're angry, of course. You're ready to attack the city. You're in like destruction mode. You're looking to, destroy and annihilate the people in the city or whatever in the war. Well, do not at all cut the trees down that are fruit trees. And you shouldn't at all cut it. Why? Ki ha'adam etz hasadeh, a man is like the tree of the field, lafot mipanecha bamatzor, to approach yourself in a siege. So interesting halakha. Why, may I ask, does the Torah say, I'm going into war, I'm ready to destroy, to get in the city and knock out the enemies. The Torah says, wait, before you do that, you're around the city. I don't want you to destroy the fruit-bearing trees. So if there's an apple tree that's there around the city, or if there's a peach tree, I don't want you to just come and destroy it. You're not allowed to. You're supposed to leave it there. Anybody know the reason why? You can write the answer in your chat if you want to, or you could say something out loud. You could unmute yourself. Anybody know? What's the reason why I can't destroy a fruit tree?
It helps people live.
Excellent. Very good. Excellent. Who just said that? That was Stephen?
Stephen.
Excellent, Steve. Good to see you. Okay. So that's correct. The Torah goes out of its way to tell us that a fruit-bearing tree allows a person to live. And if you're not going to go and you're going to cut down this tree, right? So now people are you lost the opportunity for a tree that gives life to other people. We don't want you to be in a situation like that whatsoever. Even though you're angry, even though you want to go and you're ready for war and you don't care what you destroy, whether you destroy the house, whether you burn down whatever the field itself, we want to make sure that when it comes to anything that's what God gave us to help people live properly, we don't want you to destroy a tree. And that's actually the halakha that's brought down. Don't destroy this tree, because at the end of the day, it's ki adam etz hasadeh. Man is like the fruit of the tree. I also wanted to ask you a question. The Torah tells us why is man compared to the fruit of a tree? Why? Let's see if you guys know that. What is fruit? What is unique about fruit? What's inside of fruit? Besides the actual juice and the pulp. What's inside of fruit? You guys should know the answer.
Seeds.
That's correct. Seeds. Gara'inim. There are seeds in every fruit, right? You open up a peach. In the middle of the peach, you'll see a seed that's there. That's called the pit. And from the pit, you can actually put it in the ground and you could grow other trees from it. So to a human being, a human is the same type of person. A human has the ability to give life to others, right? Man and woman give birth to a child. That's life. The potential of human being is like the tree that also gives life itself. A rock doesn't give life. It could sit there for thousands and thousands of generations in the same location, but there's things that give life to others. And for the question, when it comes to fruit itself, a fruit is fruit bearing. I also want to tell you something nice that you like, a hidush that I heard. You have a tree, right? A tree has roots that connects to the ground, correct? That's how the tree lives. It doesn't live on the air itself only. It also has roots to the ground itself, and it gets nutrients and water and slowly grows to become a very healthy tree. Human beings, the way a human being works also has roots. What do you mean, Rabbi? I'm not attached to the ground. No, we're not talking about that. Your parents are the roots of where you came from. They teach you how to act life and live life properly. So a person that's rooted, this is an amazing story. A person that's rooted from his family, from his mother, from his father, from his grandparents, and he learns their traditions, and he learns that the importance of what it means to be Jewish and what it means to follow the Torah and mitzvot, you're like exactly a tree that's connected to the ground. You want to hear full proof to that? I'll give you, you're going to love this. Let me show you. Anybody familiar with Tehillim? Did anybody ever read Tehillim before? You should all nod your heads. Of course, we read Tehillim every day. Very important, not Tefillah especially. Well, guess what? Anybody familiar with the first chapter of Tehillim? Perek Aleph? I'll show you right now inside. Okay? Perek Aleph of Tehillim. I'm going to open up right now. I want to show it to you. Okay. I'll share with you the screen. Take a look. Okay. So the Torah, Tehillim tells us, Ashrei Ha'ish. This is David HaMelech talking. Fortunate is the man, Asher lo halach ba'atzat eshaim, who doesn't follow the evil advice of wicked people, ubderech hata'im lo amad, and in the ways of the people that sin, he doesn't stand. He stays away from people that are troublemakers. Moshav letzim lo yashav, and he doesn't sit with people that just make fun and waste their time not doing any productive things in the world. What should he do instead of staying with these weird people? Ki b'torat Hashem hefso. The Torah of Hashem should be his desire. He should want to know what does God want, not what these other people care about. I care what God wants. Ubtorato yegeh yomam v'layla, and he decides to study the Torah day and night. He doesn't miss a beat. His focus is, what does the Torah want me to do? I want to learn it. I want to study it. I want to deeply root myself in the Torah. My roots start with the Torah itself. And that starts with your parents, your grandparents, because they grew up in this world of learning and studying the Torah. And what happens when you do that? So says David HaMelech, V'aya ka'etz, you'll be like a tree. Look at this word I use. David HaMelech doesn't just throw any word. You're going to be like a tree, shatul al pelge mayim. You're going to be basically connected to the waters. You know, a tree, they say, right, lives very nice, especially if it's near a body of water, whether it's a lake or a river, right? You don't see trees drying out by river thing. Maybe you see by, an open air, a field, possibly, if it doesn't get the proper water. But when you're near a river or lake, I can guarantee you the tree, unless there's a flood, obviously, but if there's no flood, the tree will live beautifully and properly. And not only that, Asher Piryo, its fruit, Yiten Beito, will give it its right time. It will be healthy. Ve'aleo lo yibol, and its leaves, alim are leaves in Hebrew. They will never be worn out. They won't dry. They'll be fresh, moist. Ve'chol asher ya'aseh yatzliach, and everything that he's going to do is going to be significant and be successful. So look at this. David HaMelech already made the comparison, boys, that a tree and a human being are the same. If you stay deeply rooted to the Torah, you're like the tree that lives right on the river and lake. It's healthy. It's properly able to grow. It has the right nourishment. You ever see, guys, how many of you guys take vitamins in the morning? You guys take vitamins sometimes? Or at least you eat a good meal, breakfast. You don't have to always take vitamins. If you eat a breakfast too, you feel good. And the moment you don't eat, the moment you skip breakfast, then you start feeling sick. You start feeling out of it. So, that being said, look at this same idea. If you're rooted properly, you make the difference. Okay. Anybody have any question? Buddy, you had a question you want to ask?
No.
Oh, I thought you had your hand up. Okay. Very good. Stephen, you have a question? No? It's great to see you. I want to ask you, Stephen, let me see if you know. What is it special? Why is man compared to a tree?
Because it has roots.
That's right. And what are the roots resembling of? What's the root of what? Where are the humans' roots?
Parents.
That's right, your parents. And what did your parents grow by? They studied, they learned, right? They learned how to live properly. They get up in the morning, they tell you to wash your hands and they tell you die. Of course I'll do it because that's part of the roots. They grew up that same way. Beautiful. Okay, let's continue. We're doing good. Let's go back now where we are. So now we understand the mitzvah that you're not allowed to destroy the trees of the city that are fruit bearing. You are allowed to destroy any non-fruit bearing trees. So if you have a regular oak tree that's there by the city, that you're allowed to destroy. That's not a problem. Now the truth is, if there's not, obviously if you're going to use it, I'm going to use the wood to build something, that's fine. But we don't believe in Chas v'Shalom just destroying anything for no reason. You're not allowed to. That's called Bal Tashchit, destroying something for no reason. Okay. I had somebody call me. You want to hear this? I had a person call me. You're gonna like the story. He says to me, he goes, I'm looking to build a pool in my backyard. Everybody hear me? Okay. So he goes, excellent. I'm looking to build a pool in my backyard. Okay. And it happens to be in the middle of the backyard, there is a peach tree. Okay. Whoa. I'm going to ask you guys the question. The guy wants to build a pool. Could he cut down the peach tree to build a pool? Or according to what we learn now, he would not be allowed to. Let's see who gets the right answer. Write it in the chat. Write in the
Can't hear you, Rabbi.
I don't think he's talking.
Can't hear you.
based on, hello? Yeah. Based on what we learned today, it seems that he probably cannot cut this peach tree down. Because what's the point? If he's going to cut the peach tree down, which gives life, even though he wants the pool itself to build and swim there, which he's going to enjoy and have a great time, it seems according to this halakha, a person would not allowed to be it. So guess what the person did by it? We're going to look into it now. But guess what the guy did? Steven, you had your hand up? What was your question? Yeah.
What if he uses all the fruit? What if he takes all the fruit off?
Oh, good. I like that question. What if he decides to take all the peaches off the fruit? It's at end of season. Let's ask the boys. Could he still destroy the tree? Anybody know? Buddy Levy, would you know the answer? Go ahead, buddy. Just unmute yourself.
The answer to Steven's question, I think, is no, but what if he uses the wood from the tree to help build the pool?
Oh, okay. So the answer, first of all, yes. A tree normally, even though it gave fruit, it's going to give fruit next year too, right? Next year, you're going to see a new set of fruit coming out in the next season. Like now, if you go to the orchards now, you'll see there's tons of peaches that are now growing and apples. This is the season for it right now. So every year, the tree gives fruit. Okay, your question, buddy, was again. Say it again one more time.
Are you allowed? Is he allowed to cut down the tree and use the wood from the tree to make the pool?
So technically, if it's preferable that if he's a good question, it's preferable that he takes a regular tree, if he can, that doesn't fruit-bearing tree, so that he could go and to build his, let's say, pool. It's interesting question if it's your house you want to live in, that's a different story. Okay, let's take a look at that. This is great. Okay, now, 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, let me see. Hold on. Okay, 1 second. Hold on, guys. Okay, there's a concept called sorech mekomo and sorech kili. All right, so we're going to look at this halacha inside and see. Let me share the screen now so you guys can see. Take a look so you can read it. You together with me. We learn Hebrew too. It's nice, right? So part of what we're doing in school. Okay, says the special book called the Penine Halacha that discusses the halachot of Bal Tashchit. Isur akirat etz peri ne'emar bilshon hashchata. The isur of destroying a fruit-bearing tree, of course, we see from the Torah itself. Lo tashchit etza. You're not allowed to destroy the tree itself. Mikan she'im akira ena l'shem hashchata. If you're destroying the tree, not because you want to destroy it, ela l'shem to'elet hashubah. But if you have a good purpose for it, sheshaviyah.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. So, if, says the halacha, that if Hasil Shalom, or not Hasil Shalom, if it happens that there's a purpose where the cost of wood now would be more expensive in value. So if I take that piece of wood and I put it, for example, and build a house with it, how much does it cost to build a house? It's a lot of money, right? And let's say the house is valued at, let's see, I'll throw a number. The house is valued, the construction with everything is about $200,000, which is a good common value for a regular medium house. Could be more depending on the house itself. But I could tell you now, if I were to take down now all those wood planks that I used to build a house, the wood before it was built was worth, let's say, $1 a piece. Now, if I do the math, the wood is going to probably be worth $10 a square foot or $20 a square foot. You just raised the value of the wood itself because you made it into a house. And if you do that, says the halacha, then it's considered mutar. You're allowed to destroy the tree. So that's amazing. Yeah. Because now you took something and you now really brought it up to a new level. Okay, so let's go back. We said over here. Let's go back, share the screen again. Very interesting halacha we just did here. We're not talking about pool yet. Right now we're talking about a house. Okay? And this is not considered, says the halacha, enzo hashchata. It's not considered destroying the tree. Therefore, mutar la'akor atze peri. You are allowed to remove a fruit tree kedei libnot bimkomam bet dira, in order to build a house. Or litzorech harhavat bet knesset or mikveh tahora. Or if you want to, let's say, for example, extend the shul, the synagogue, right, has a beautiful fruit tree in the back, and you want to extend the synagogue outward. Says the halacha, you're allowed to do that. Because again, the value of the synagogue is tremendous. It's a mitzvah, then you're good. Or if you have a mikveh, anybody know what is a mikveh? Anybody know what that is? You know what a mikveh is? Okay. Mikveh is a place where people, you're supposed to, they go dip. You know, you take your utensils, go to Macy's, right? And you buy new pots and pans. We spoke about this. Before you use the pots and pans in halacha, you're supposed to go and do tivilah. You're supposed to dip it into the water of the mikveh, so that it becomes like you're converting it. The same way a Jewish person converts by going into a mikveh, so too the utensils of a non-Jew that becomes now in the home of a Jewish hand has to also go through a conversion. What's the conversion? When you stick it in the mikveh, it's a big tub of water, and the water is actually rainwater. By the way, if you go to Elbron train station, you guys have ever been there, there is a men's mikveh that's there. And there's a section where you can actually take the dishes and you could dip them inside. It's called tivilah. Maybe I'll show you a video maybe one day. Okay, so basically at the end of the day, if you're building a house, are you allowed to cut down a fruit tree? Guys? There's a fruit tree on the plot of land. Or there's 5 peach trees. You bought a beautiful property. Mabruk, Stephen Franco just bought a nice property, and he decides with his wife, wants to build a beautiful house. But it so happens that he sees, the guy tells her, oh, by the way, you're going to love this property. Whoa, what's so special? There happens to be 5 peach trees over here. You're going to love it. Yeah, but wait a minute. I'm building a house. How am I going to, I don't know if I could buy this property. So now Stephen Frankel goes to his rabbi. Rabbi Gheriani calls him up. Rabbi, what do I do? I see peach trees on my property, but I want to build a beautiful house on it. What do I do? What's the halakha, Stephen? What would I tell you? Huh?
You can build it. You can
build it. If it's to build a house, you could build it because the value of that tree now is even more expensive. The house itself, for you to live, it's a proper thing. And regarding a pool, does it really help at the end of the day? If it's a mikveh to do mitzvah, it's one thing, but a pool is not really something that you would do a mitzvah with, or it raises the value technically, because at the end of the day, it's not a house you're living in, it's a pool. So basically, it's better not to. That's what you should do. There might be an opinion that allows you, but people who are strict that want to follow this properly don't. And that's what the guy told me. The guy said, Rabbi, I wanted to build a pool in my backyard, but I couldn't in that area. So what he did was he built the pool to the side of the house. That way he didn't have to, of course, cut the tree down. Okay, boys, this was great. You guys were awesome today. So here's what we're going to do. Our next class, listen carefully. Next class, today is Thursday. We're meeting on Tuesday. We're going to have part 2. We're going to talk about food. If I'm eating from a buffet and I have leftover food, could I throw it out? And what the halacha is now that we learned about trees. All right? But I hope you guys really walked out of, I'd love to see you guys on Tuesday. It's 10 o'clock, half hour. It's going to be a really nice program. All right? Guys, you were awesome. Thank you for coming on, guys. You're the best. Guys, Shabbat Shalom. Now stick around if you guys want to schmooze. Moshe, Zach Baruch, thank you for coming.